Hi, I'm Jessica Wong from the Publisher Development Team. From the accent, you can tell that I'm not from the US. Travelled all the way from London, and today I'm going to give you a talk on From Data to Dollars, so optimizing affiliate partnerships with situational commissioning and first-party data. So by the end of this training session, you'll be able to articulate the importance of first-party data identifiers. You'll also be able to implement unique identifiers in CJ tracking for your back-end data matching, and to apply strategies to different segments using CJ's audience commissioning tool. So this obviously is the same quote that we used with Santi, and I was listening to a Shopify podcast, and it's time after time you'll continue to hear this quote, where times are rapidly changing. And personally, I believe that this no longer stands true. So it's time for you to take back control of the data you capture so you have a very clear understanding of how you spend your money on advertising. So since the 1950s, technology has advanced significantly, where every single one of these examples share common themes. What are those themes? Firstly, it's all about customer relationship management, CRM for short. Secondly, they all have unique identifiers. So whether we start on the left and whether it's a Rolodex ID, a serial number on the back of a computer, or household ID when you send direct mail, shopper ID or SID for publishers in CJ to match back transactional data, Salesforce ID for your marketing campaigns, Apple ID obviously to sync your devices or more. You literally have that data intelligence in the palm of your hand. So this leads me to ask, how many of you have a structured segmentation system in place? The reason I ask is because my very first job as an international data analyst was to build segmentation systems where we housed some of the largest CRM systems in the UK across all verticals and managed their direct mail campaigns. The company that I worked for back then is now called TransUnion. I'm not sure whether any of you have heard of TransUnion, but yeah, so TransUnion, we collected census data every 10 years, and the government kind of like rolled this out, and then we would profile households using statistical software such as SPSS. Why? It meant we could analyze and profile customer data to send direct mail to similar households in the UK. Simply put, it allowed our company to apply anonymous segment IDs to our existing customer CRM systems and find lookalike profiles, which is our third and final theme. It also taught me the importance of data integrity, and reciting the Data Protection Act of 1998 is literally what I love. I'm all about the data, but I digress. So this also brings me to the next talking point. How does CJ fit into all of this? Well, how many times has a retailer or a publisher you've had, or an agency, you've had the rug pulled out from underneath you and they're like, no, we don't want to do that anymore, or it's a case of, I want to see the value that's being brought back from whether it's a tenancy spend or a CPA. So, and also you've probably just been asked, like, I want concrete evidence to back your words. So for the first time in history, CJ have released a parameter for publishers to allow commission on. What is this ID? It's a segment ID or SID. What does it allow for us to do? It allows dynamic commissioning opportunities available to both publishers and advertisers. It reduces the manual workloads. It has a more focused and efficient strategic partnerships. And also it really can influence customer behavior to drive those valuable business outcomes. And finally, it kind of gives more transparency for those kind of questions that I laid out earlier. So which publishers are already doing it? I know that if some of you maybe joined OB's session earlier, he had this exactly same diagram, but what's changed here are on the left-hand side, these are actually the publishers that are already passing back segment ID to CJ. So top of funnel, you've got CJ leads. If you guys joined the leads conversation, we're kind of going more granular in that data. YouTube shopping, the points guy, if you just joined the panel next door. Smart wealth trends, and you can see that each stage of the funnel, you do have those different providers, Slick Deals, Coupon Mania. If you're a publisher in this room and you do pass back segment ID, please do share that information with your publisher manager, and we can add you to the Rolodex. We have an entire Rolodex for our client development managers to use, and it just really helps kind of identify the opportunities that are available. And then when you actually have these conversations with these partners, you can actually ask them, do you match on my retailer and brand audience? So you can actually pass back your CRM data, and then publisher will do the direct matching so that you can do suppression lists, you can make sure that you're not targeting the same people, and it really kind of goes into that, more granular approach. And also, when I mentioned right at the start, like from working at TransUnion and learning everything I did in my first job, it really kind of taught me that publishers can also integrate with third-party providers. So you can integrate with Experian, and also TransUnion to actually have a really good idea of what those profiles look like for your CRM. And if anyone here actually works really closely with our CRM team, normally from a brand side, it's very, very focused. It's a very traditional department. But now we've shifted those departments, and all of you should actually be infiltrating and updating your CRM. Because I know that I'm always having conversations and they're saying, oh, that person's left the company, or that email's wrong, or that email address is no longer accurate, or the publishers have acquired other partners and they've changed, like today, GSG rebranded to Atlux. So I'm sure that there's going to be a massive change with that. So we've got to make sure that the data is clean. If you don't pass back publisher segment ID and you are a publisher in this room, then those use cases for consideration include new customer acquisition. So the same way that brands can segment new versus existing, our partners and publishers can do the same. You can go into that core demographic data. So you can go to the basics. You can look at AOV, gender, income. You can, go as tailored as you want, and you would match your existing internal CRM campaigns with your CJ CRM campaigns. We also have product mapping, right? So if you want to target a specific vertical, so if you say that for some of those publishers on that list before, they're huge enterprise partners, and so they'll have massives of audience data, but they'll probably say these are the people that you want to target for beauty, and this is who you want to target for travel. So you can really do that product mapping, and also shopping behavior. Shopping behavior has changed so much. I know personally for me, I'm not that kind of person that would always love to be online shopping. I love to go in store, or when I travel to a place, or I go back home to Hong Kong, then that's when I kind of love to kind of put all my my little bits in my basket. So there'll be different ways that you guys will still shop. So when it comes to that dynamic commissioning, there are specific data attributes to consider. On the left-hand side, if you're a brand in this room, these are a few of the data attributes that you can commission on. There is, on our developer portal within the API, there is a long list. So anything from campaign name to category, even loyalty status. And I guess right now, probably the big one is margin. If you know you've got a huge profit margin on a specific product or a specific category, then that might be something that you want to elevate with a publisher that passes back that segment ID or SGID. On the left-hand side, the publisher data attributes could be category, it can be custom, as I mentioned earlier, demographics, or a specific marketing channel, or if you want to hone in on app users, then that is something that you can kind of ask and have the conversation with the publisher so that you marry those dynamic attributes, and then you set a tailored campaign, because it's all about the right messaging at the right time to the right people to kind of convert that that 5% of intent as you are shopping online or buying something. So brands definitely have those specific requirements, and you should share, as a brand, you should share those goals with the partner, and allow the publisher to refine their deliverables based on your goals. So what are the next steps here? The next steps will be, one, I mentioned right at the beginning, data integrity for me is absolutely key. So you have to get your data in order. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's robust, and make sure as a publisher, you are passing back segment IDs back through into CJ. Second, start conversations. Start today, start now. Publisher audience commissioning, advertiser audience commission is here, and it's here to stay. So definitely ask your publishers, and even vice versa, simple question, can you segment your data? And from there, share data insights. So speak to your existing in-house CRM team, make sure you're having the conversation to say, what campaigns are you currently working on? And can we translate those campaigns into our social campaigns or our affiliate campaigns so that you can tie those data insights and have a full funnel approach of what you're doing when it comes to segmenting your data. So, what's the big key takeaway? Be curious. I'm super curious and I ask so many questions all of the time. And also just start adding those identifiers into your CJ tracking links. We will have a Junction article that's being released after CJU. So we're going to summarize that so that we can share that because this was literally just released I think a couple of months ago. And other networks are doing it, but CJ now is trying to learn from you, so we definitely want to have those open conversations and visibility so that we can work closer together. That's it. Thank you.